And welcome back to the only channel that doesn't waste your time. That's right, we only ask the tough questions here. Questions like, what would happen if you put famous book openings through Google Translate? Today we're here to answer that very question. We are starting off strong with The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum with one of my favorite openings of all time. You think you know pain? Talk to my second wife. She does. Or she thinks she does. She says that once when she was 19 or 20, she got between a couple of cats fighting, her own cat and a neighbor's, and one of them went at her, climbed her like a tree, tore gashes out of her thighs and breasts and belly that you can still see today. Scared her so badly that she fell against her mother's turn-of-the-century hoser, breaking her best ceramic pie plate and scraping 6 inches of skin off her ribs, while the cat made its way back down her again, all tooth and claw and spitting fur. 36 stitches, I think she said she got, and a fever that lasted days. My second wife says that's pain. She doesn't know shit, that woman. Pretty powerful stuff. Now let's see how ridiculous we can make it. Do you think you know the pain? Talk to your second wife. He did, or he may think. When he was 19 or 20, he fought his car with two cats. He fought his car with 2 cats in his neighborhood, one of which went at him as a tree. Trunk and chest and stomach were still visible. Today, she was terrified of a tear. When the cat came back to him, he broke the best of his concrete pipe and shone the skin 6 inches of ribs, heals both teeth and nails, and irritated. 36 wealth he thought he had. In the heat of the last day, my second wife said in pain, he loses the shyness, the woman. Well, that made a whole heap of sense, and personally, I think it's even better for it. We are going to go with good old Jane Austen in The Pride and Prejudice. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. However little known the feelings or views of such a man may be on his first entering a neighborhood, this truth is so well fixed in the minds of the surrounding families that he is considered the rightful property of some one or other of their daughters. It is generally accepted that a lucky man needs a wife, even if few people know about the feelings or views of such a person when they first enter the neighborhood. This truth is so firmly embedded in the heart of the surrounding family that it is considered the legal property of their daughter. Well, that one was a bit less funny, and oddly enough, it stayed fairly accurate. Very strange, and I honestly am not satisfied with that, so I'm gonna try this a couple more times and see how janky I can make it. Alright, and now after translating it into a few different languages, hopefully we'll have something funny to work with. It is generally accepted that a happy man needs a wife. Although only a small number of people know the feelings or views of such a person when they first enter the neighborhood. This truth is firmly held in the hearts of the surrounding families as the legal property of their daughters. What the fuck, Jane Austen? What the fuck? We're moving on. Before I get any more sad, we're just gonna go with another classic, 1984. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his breast in an effort to escape the vile wind, slipped quickly through the glass doors of Victory Mansions, though not quickly enough to prevent a swirl of gritty dust from entering along with him. April is 13 years old and a cold day. Winston Smith left his chin over his chest, tried to avoid the gloomy wind, and hurried through the glass door of Victory Manor, but this was not fast enough to usher in a violent storm. Not very funny, but confusing enough. Moving on. We're moving on to not quite a classic, but, you know, it's something. It's Fight Club. Tyler gets me a job as a writer. After that, Tyler's pushing a gun in my mouth and saying the first step to eternal life is you have to die. For a long time, though, Tyler and I were best friends. People are always asking, did I know about Tyler Durden? The barrel of the gun pressed against the back of my throat. Tyler says, we really won't die. Tyler hired me as a writer. Tyler put a gun in my mouth, and the first step to eternal life was death. The longer evolving, Tyler and I became close friends. What people know about Tyler Durden? I would have asked. We don't want to die, Tyler said while pressing the gun to his neck. He said. That's a bit odd, but strangely enough, it makes sense in its own very strange way. I think I'm trying to find some deeper meaning in this gibberish, but I don't know, it's kind of fun. Moving on. A classic opening, one of the most infamous openings ever. Lolita, light of my life, fire of my loins, my sin, my soul, Lolita, the tip of the tongue taking a trip of 3 steps down the palate to tap at 3 on the teeth, low. She was low, plain low, in the morning, standing 4 feet 10 in one sock. She was Lola in slacks. She was Dolly at school. She was Dolores on the dotted line. But in my arms, she was always Lolita. One of the most elegant and infamous openings in all of literature, and we're really gonna fuck this one up. I mean, I'm gonna send it through like 15 languages just so we can fuck something up. Lolita, the flame of my life, my feet, my sin, my soul, Lolita. Raise your tongue 3 times and brush your teeth 3 times. Hello, teacher. Lee. The next morning is approximately low level, and 40 meters with his hands on his socks. Confused with Laura. This is Dolly at school. It is Dolores in a row, but in my lap is Lolita's arm. In my lap is Lolita's arm. That's quite a turn for the story, but honestly, not one that would shock me. Okay, brush your teeth 3 times, people. I really like low level and 40 meters with his hands on his socks. Confused with Laura? Yes, we are all confused with Laura. That's what this gibberish experiment is about. Well, this was an interesting experiment, and I was just trying to have a little bit of fun. So, that's all I got. Bye.